You think your horse is finally behaving when it stands frozen while you tack it up, or when it quietly lowers its head as you walk away. But right now, your horse is offering you a delicate, desperate piece of its survival instinct. You are witnessing raw vulnerability, and there is a very high chance you are completely ignoring it, slowly shattering their trust every single day. Have you ever stopped to wonder what your horse actually feels when it gives up its defenses for you? What if your horse has been actively trying to show you it trusts you with its life, and you've been completely missing it because you were too busy looking for a dog-like display of affection? Most people think they understand when a horse is bonding with them. They look for cuddles, nuzzling, or a horse that runs to the gate, and they immediately label it as love. They demand this humanized affection without ever trying to understand the profound biological sacrifices a prey animal makes just to exist peacefully in our presence. They just don't get it. What you're about to learn will completely change the way you see your horse. We are going to uncover the hidden biological acts of trust your horse offers you. Once you realize what these subtle movements actually mean, you will never look at your quiet moments together the same way again. If you truly want to understand your horse, if you want to honor the fragile trust of a 1,000-pound prey animal instead of just taking it for granted, subscribe now. Let's uncover the truth. Why does your horse suddenly let out a massive, shuddering sigh when you brush its shoulder or loosen the girth? Most owners think the horse is just catching its breath, tired from the work, or simply clearing its airways. They pat the neck and immediately move on to the next task. But horses are prey animals. Their autonomic nervous system is permanently set to high alert. They breathe shallowly and rhythmically to keep their bodies primed for instant flight. A deep, heavy sigh is a physiological reset of their parasympathetic nervous system. Behavioral research shows this action forcefully lowers their heart rate. Your horse isn't just exhaling air, it is literally shutting down its biological alarm system. It is physically releasing the adrenaline and tension it holds just to survive in a human world. This is not just relaxation. This is a profound biological surrender. Most people completely misunderstand this, ignoring the exact moment their horse decides they are safe enough to stop bracing for a predator's attack. Keep watching, because this next one changes everything about how you look at your horse's face. Why does your horse suddenly blink slowly, half close its eyes, and drop its eyelashes while you stand next to its head? You might think it is just sleepy, or maybe there's dust in the air, or it just enjoys the sunshine. But think about their vision. A horse relies on its massive, wide-set eyes to scan the horizon for danger. Constant, uninterrupted vision is their absolute primary defense mechanism. Blinking slowly or partially closing their eyes drastically reduces their visual field, creating a massive, terrifying vulnerability. Your horse isn't just tired. It is deliberately taking its eyes off the horizon because you are there. When they soften their gaze, they are actively choosing to stop looking for predators, assuming you will take over the watch. This is an immense transfer of responsibility. If you ignore this and suddenly make a loud, sharp movement, you betray that fragile agreement and prove they shouldn't have trusted you to keep watch. This is where most horse owners miss the ultimate sign of physical trust. Why does your horse cock a hind leg, resting the toe lightly on the ground while standing next to you in the aisle? People brush this off as the horse just taking a break, being lazy, or shifting its weight comfortably. A horse's legs are its only mechanism for survival. The ability to push off the ground and hit top speed in mere seconds is the only reason their species exists today. When a horse purposefully locks its stifle joint to stand on 3 legs, it drastically increases the time it would take to flee from danger. Your horse isn't just lounging, it is purposefully disabling its own escape route. It is telling you that the biological urge to flee has completely vanished in your presence. The relaxed hind leg is a physical manifestation of psychological safety. Your horse is trusting that you will not put them in a situation where they need to run for their lives. This is not laziness. This is undeniable proof of security. The next one is critical, and misreading it can ruin your connection. Why does your horse deliberately swing its hindquarters away from you when you enter the stall or the round pen, turning so its shoulder or head faces you? You might not even notice it, or you might think they are just getting out of your way to be polite. In herd dynamics, the hind end is a lethal weapon. Kicking is a prime defense mechanism against a rear attack. Presenting the hindquarters can be a severe threat or a defensive shield. By consciously moving their most dangerous weapon away from your body as you approach, they are actively de-escalating any potential conflict. Your horse is not just moving aside, it is actively disarming itself in front of you. It is going out of its way to show you that it harbors no aggressive intent and recognizes you as a complete non-threat. This is not mere politeness. This is a negotiated peace treaty. They are stripping away their physical defenses to say they accept your leadership. We left off with the most dangerous psychological risk a horse can ever take. What does it actually mean when a horse separates itself from the absolute, biological safety of its herd just to stand near you in an open field? The truth behind this final sacrifice is the ultimate test of your partnership, and missing it can permanently break their spirit. Why does your horse leave its grazing pasture mates, walking away from the safety in numbers, just to stand quietly by your shoulder while you fix a fence or sit on a bucket? You might smile and think they just missed you, or that they are hoping you have a sweet treat hidden in your pocket. We constantly view these moments as a casual, cute interaction between a loyal pet and its owner. But you have to look at this through the lens of 1,000,000 years of prey animal evolution. A horse's entire existence, its absolute guarantee of waking up the next morning, relies entirely on the mathematical advantage of the herd. In the wild, isolation is an immediate, terrifying death sentence. A single horse cannot scan 360 degrees for predators while eating or sleeping. When a horse is separated from its group, its brain immediately releases a massive surge of cortisol, the stress hormone, screaming at its nervous system to get back to safety. To voluntarily walk away from the collective protection of the herd goes against every single hardwired survival instinct in their brain. Your horse isn't just looking for a carrot or being affectionately clingy. It is making a profound, calculated decision that your presence offers an equal or greater level of safety than its own species. When they choose to leave the herd to stand with you, they are actively suppressing a biological stress response. They are essentially saying, "I trust your awareness and your protection so entirely that I am willing to risk my life by walking away from my family." This is not casual curiosity. This is the ultimate psychological transfer of loyalty. If you chase them away because you are busy or ignore them completely, you are rejecting a fragile biological bond they risked their deep instinctual comfort to offer. Keep watching, because there is another subtle behavior that happens right in front of you, and it proves whether your horse views you as a dictator or a true leader. Why does your horse fall into step with you when you are walking out in the pasture or the arena without a lead rope? You take a step, they take a step. You stop, they stop. You take a deep breath, and you hear them exhale right along with you. People love to record this. They think it's a neat trick, or they assume the horse has just been trained so strictly that it is afraid to step out of line. But look at the mechanics of herd survival. A herd of wild horses moves as a single fluid organism. They do not have verbal meetings to decide when to run. They rely entirely on nervous system synchronization. If the lead mare tenses her muscles and shifts her weight, the rest of the herd instantly mirrors that kinetic energy to prepare for flight. Co-regulation is how they survive. Your horse is not just obediently following you, it is actively synchronizing its nervous system to yours. By matching your steps and your breathing, they are plugging into your physical energy. They are accepting you as the lead mare or stallion who dictates the pace of safety. If you are calm, they are calm. The synchronized walk is a physical manifestation of psychological harmony. They are yielding the heavy burden of decision-making over to you, trusting that wherever you lead them is safe. This leads us into something even more physically vulnerable, something that happens right under our noses while we are brushing them or quietly tacking up. Why does your horse lower its heavy head deeply in your presence, dropping its nose almost to the dirt without trying to graze? You might not even pay attention. You might just brush their mane or adjust the halter, assuming they are simply tired or stretching their neck out after a long, hard ride. But consider the brutal mechanics of a predator attack. A horse's head is its primary radar tower. When the head is high, their ears can pivot in all directions, and their wide-set eyes can detect motion miles away across the plains. Lowering the head below the withers completely disables this sophisticated radar system. Even more critically, look at their anatomy. Dropping the head exposes the poll and the back of their neck. In the wild, this is the exact, precise target a predator, like a mountain lion or a jaguar, aims for to sever the spinal cord and execute a lethal instant kill. Your horse is not just stretching its muscles, it is deliberately exposing its most fatal anatomical vulnerability to you. By dropping its head and exposing its poll, it is literally handing you the kill switch to its life. It is suppressing every primal instinct that screams at it to keep its head up and stay vigilant against an attack. The deeply lowered head is the physical embodiment of total, unquestioning submission to your leadership. They are silently telling you, I know you could destroy me right now, but I trust with my entire being that you won't. And this is where the climax of your entire relationship rests. We spend so much time demanding respect from these magnificent animals. We use heavy ropes, long whips, sharp spurs, and constant, relentless pressure to force them into submission. We are completely oblivious to the biological fact that true respect from a prey animal cannot ever be commanded with force. It can only be earned through the quiet demonstration of consistent, calm protection. When we misunderstand these subtle, hidden acts of trust, we slowly, methodically chip away at their spirit. Every time they offer a heavy, regulating sigh and we ignore it. Every time they drop their vulnerable head and we impatiently jerk the lead rope. Every time they leave the absolute safety of the herd to be with us and we push them away because we are focused on our own human agenda. We are telling them that their vulnerability is a massive mistake. We are proving to their deeply sensitive, reactive nervous system that they were entirely wrong to trust us with their safety. Over time, if this betrayal continues, they stop offering these signs altogether. They become dull, shut down, and robotic. You end up with a horse with a broken spirit, an animal that obeys simply out of learned helplessness, depression, and fear, rather than true willing partnership. The bright, curious fire in their eyes completely disappears because they finally realize their silent voice does not matter to the human who controls them. But when you finally start recognizing these fragile, fleeting moments, everything shifts. You begin to realize that working with a horse is not about asserting dominance over a lesser animal. It is about proving yourself worthy of a survival partnership with a powerful creature that owes you absolutely nothing. A horse doesn't follow you because it loves you in the human sense, with conditions, expectations, and emotional baggage. It follows you because it trusts you not to harm it. It views you as a source of absolute safety in a terrifying, unpredictable world. You have become its sanctuary. It has analyzed the environment, measured the terrifying risks, and decided that the safest place on earth is standing right next to you. To a horse, trust is quite literally a matter of life or death. Every single second of every single day, they are analyzing their environment and making a choice for their own survival. And when they lower their head, soften their eyes, rest their leg, and choose to stay with you when they have every biological instinct screaming at them to run, they are choosing you over their own fear. They are giving you the greatest, most profound gift a prey animal can ever give. Share this with someone who truly wants to understand their horse, because once you see these hidden acts of trust, you can never unsee them, and you will never take your horse for granted ever again.